So finally, summing up today's discussion, the last question is that do you think that the COVID vaccines are necessary at all and safe for the population in general and for the children in particular?
This is a question which nobody can answer in the long-term safety because nobody has data. So if anybody claims that it is safe, particularly in the long run, particularly in children, I am very concerned about children. Because if a person who is 70, 80, 60, there long term, there is hardly any fruitful years left. I mean, person has comorbidity, his chances of mortality may be more. Vaccine adverse effect may be less. But in a child, suppose there is some adverse effect, say 5 years down the line, 3 years down the line, the child has a whole life to lead. And now most concerning is this myocarditis because it is a matter of heart. Heart has to last your lifetime. So definitely this vaccine, I don't understand what was the emergency for a disease which has a mortality 0.3%. And particularly in children, the mortality is 0.001%. For a healthy child, it is almost zero. You see, if a disease, simple common sense, you don't go into mathematical model to calculate the risk benefit. You ask a simple person, if a risk of disease like smallpox, the mortality was 30%. 30% was the mortality from smallpox. Vaccine, I said, okay, take the vaccine, even if there is a adverse effect of 5% of the vaccine, because 30%, 5 you can see. But here, when the mortality is unknown from the vaccine, long-term side effect is unknown from the vaccine, and the mortality is very, very minimal. So it doesn't work out. I mean, vaccine, and now you see the vaccine is not working also. Because if you see the countries which are very high vaccinated, we have got second booster in Israel, they are having post-vaccination, they are having more surges of cases and even deaths also. Similarly, happening with Taiwan, Australia, New Zealand. Most of the countries are having, in Japan, you see, are having more than 1 lakh cases today. The country of just 12 crores, we have got 140 crores, and we are just having 15, 20,000 cases and 30, 40 deaths. They are just 12 crores, they are having more than 1 lakh cases and 60, 70 deaths. And why? Because they have got high vaccination coverage, 70, 80%, Japan. And similarly, Malaysia, they are having also second booster. And we are, because we are a very dense country. So population immunity, the natural immunity is saving us. So when the natural immunity is saving us, and now the studies show, the vaccine, I think, was not required. Even if required, we could have done focused protection for vaccinating only the elderly and people with comorbidity, perhaps children also, but at the advice of the consulting pediatrician, family pediatrician. If a child is very obese, if a child has got leukemia, child has got some other comorbidity, each individual case across the board, mass vaccination can be hazardous. There have been anecdotal deaths also. There have been long-term side effects we do not know. So definitely vaccination as a public health policy for a disease with a so low mortality. The fear factor has been more than the actual mortality. You see, every day we lose 500 young people from road traffic accidents. 500, and so many gets handicapped for life. We are talking of hardly any child dies. But the parent will give a birthday present, a new car or a new bike to an 18-year-old rather than letting the child go out to school. For COVID, they are afraid of COVID much more than traffic accidents. If I am a parent, I am more worried that my child should not indulge in rash driving. So the vaccine is, I think, the mass vaccination, I have my reservations about mass vaccination.
Thank you, sir, for giving us your valuable time. And we, on behalf of People's Alliance for Public Health, are interested to work with you in the near future.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Look forward. Thank you.